thought he had me, then I skirt. Double thought he had me, then I skirt. Yeah, hey. Ain't no weapons formed against me gonna prosper. Plenty angels round me backing like some mobsters.
I used to be called Michael.
Right.
I changed my name now.
Right,
I'm Nana.
Nana.
Nana Yao Brefo Ade.
So you take up back your roots.
Back to my roots.
In the world in general, what do you think? How do you think the world is progressing? Is it going the right way? Is it going? What do you think? You have any
Going
concerns?
backwards.
Tell me what you mean, man. If you don't mind talking to the microphone, yeah? What you mean?
I think now there is no social life anymore.
There's no social life. Like
Yeah.
what?
Like everyone is being like his own self because people are not getting what they should get.
Right.
You know, because
Okay.
how the politicians are ruling the world now, it's up to their own life.
Right.
You know, they don't care about the people.
They don't care about the people.
Yeah.
The people suffering.
They're suffering.
Ah.
It's only the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer.
Wow. Where in the continent are you from?
I'm from Ghana.
You from
Africa.
Ghana?
Yeah.
Hey. All praises, man.
Yes.
All praises. So when you look at like the Ghanaian government, is
It's
that what you're
very
speaking
bad,
of?
man.
It's very bad.
It's very bad, man.
Mm.
Yeah, distraction everywhere. Because
Right.
now that they're allowing the Chinese to destroy all the water bodies.
Uh-huh.
You can find out yourself. All the
Yes.
water bodies are gone. We have about 10 rivers, strong big rivers.
Right.
And it's like here. People are not getting water to drink.
Wow. And the government is taking no step to.
No step, no nothing.
Wow.
All they do is because they have money,
Right.
they are doing these days the dark world, or they buy water from
Right.
outside to drink.
Wow.
And you see the poor people going to the stream themselves and drinking with the animals.
So what are the people doing? Do the people protest? What are
A
they doing?
lot of protests is going on this
To no
day.
avail.
I mean, and the government even arresting some of the people.
Right.
They don't give them the freedom of speech as we're supposed to get.
Wow.
Freedom, the liberty to, say your mind. It's not there anymore.
Wow.
So that's what is making me think the world is going backwards.
World
Because
is going
greediness
backwards.
is ruling now.
Greediness. Let me ask you a question. In the Ghanaian parliament, they were debating whether to legalize homosexuality down there.
Yeah.
What became of that?
Recently we have one man stood up and protest about it. That was about 3 days or 4 days ago. Yeah.
Right.
So you have more women
Yes.
and you have more men, and people are even asking the government if his mom and dad didn't have sex,
Right.
would he be alive?
Wow. But on hold, obviously the Ghanaian people are against homosexuality.
It's against our tradition.
We're talking about Dr. Bawumia, His Excellency.
Yeah, Dr. Bawumia.
What is he about? Can you talk to us?
Yes, so for me, my name is Queenie V.
Queenie V.
I'm the FOB Women's Organizer UK.
Okay.
Yeah, and we are here to campaign and engage with Ghanaian community here in Dalston
Right.
to say this man is all about good
Right.
practice in the government.
Uh-huh.
His ideology is the one that is going to help Ghanaians to progress.
Tell me some of those
Some of
policies.
his policy is about 1 million youth. He's going to engage 1 million youth in computing studies.
Computer studies, okay.
Exactly, because
Uh-huh.
here in UK, you know, computer is the one that is helping build the country.
Yes.
And everyone knows computing.
Uh-huh.
So he's going to train 1 million youth to understand the computer system
Okay.
in Ghana so they can get jobs.
Right.
So he's bringing computers to Ghana to help education, to build the education
Right.
of the youth. And one of his vision as well is about the drone system.
The what?
The drone.
The drone.
The drone
Okay.
system.
Uh-huh.
Because in Ghana, in the villages, people can die just like that.
Okay.
Because medication is a problem.
Ah.
But he's using the drone to supply
Medicines?
medicine
Okay.
for people, the villagers.
Okay.
And also is the electronic system that he has bring to Ghana. So people, when you don't have to go and queue for medication, when you go to the hospital, you can be at your home and then order your medication
Yeah.
and the drone system, because he has digitalized the whole system, the addresses in Ghana.
Right.
So the system is now progressed. It's developed
Right,
in
right.
Ghana. Digitalization is his vision.
Okay.
Here in UK, you know, everything is digitalized.
So everything going digital in Ghana.
In Ghana.
What about those that would push back on that and say we don't want it to be digital? We don't want it to completely be digitalized because you're easily trackable. It's like the West.
Exactly.
You get that feeling of somebody prying on you. What about those concerns then?
The thing is, we have to educate those people,
Right.
and then let them know the benefits of when the system is digitalized. It's going to reduce corruption. It's going to people are going to be accountable, and we are telling people about the benefit of it as well.
Right.
Because in Ghana, look at the credit system.
Yeah.
Everything is digitalized, so you can buy on credit,
Right,
and
right.
in the later one you can pay slowly
Okay.
in installments. Ghana system is not like that.
Yeah.
Digitalization is going to bring the credit system. It's bringing credit scoring in Ghana.
And you think a credit system is good?
It's good to some extent if you can be able to pay by installment. It's for those who are able to work and earning good money.
Yeah.
Or earning some sort of money.
Yeah.
So once you are able to earn money, even if you want to buy a car, in Ghana you have to put the whole cash to buy.
Yeah.
And there's some people that are not even be able to push that money to buy a whole car.
Yeah.
But they can pay by installments.
Okay.
If they are working.
Yeah.
And that is what digitalization is going to bring.
Okay.
He's got so much vision and so much ideas for Ghanaians, and I'm pleading on Ghanaians to vote number 1 on December 2024, on the 7th of December 2024. He's the one with good vision.
Yeah.
No other government can support
Wow.
Ghanaians
Okay.
other than this man. Dr.
One
Mahmoud Bawumia.
One final question. In Parliament in Ghana the other day, there's a huge debate on homosexuality. Is he going to overturn that? What's your thought?
Obviously, it's not going to overturn homosexuality.
Okay.
If not, it will be against homophobia.
He'll be against.
No,
Okay.
he will not be against.
Oh, he won't be against it.
We wouldn't be against. You can't be against. I'm a qualified social worker.
Yeah.
So if I say that he's going to be against homophobic, then we are not protecting their human rights.
Okay.
Obviously, but we need to educate people
Right.
about
Okay.
about homophobic. So for me, definitely, I will never say that we need to go against homophobic or not against it. For that, I cannot be able to confirm that. Because human rights exist in Ghana as well. It's people's human rights.
Okay.
But
That's your
let's vote
thought?
for Doctor, His Excellency.
So just based on what you just said, you go to church and you're a Christian.
I'm a Christian, but then I'm a qualified social worker.
So what comes first? Your belief in Christ and the laws that Christ has given you, or your social work?
The thing is, that is a conflict.
Yeah.
So if I'm talking as a personal, using my personal value, then I would say no. But then if I use my professional value, then I'll say human rights.
So for those Ghanaians then, because that's why I asked a question to your mate a while ago. Ghana is largely a Christian nation. So in a Christian nation that reads the Bible, when they read the Bible, they're seeing, thou shalt not lay down with another man. You can't lay down with a beast. So then that trumps any type of social, you being a social worker.
This is a social debate. It's a very sensitive as well.
Right.
So when you're talking about such issues, you have to be sensitive because people also have rights.
Yeah.
About how they want. I'm a Christian,
Yeah.
so when I look at the Christian side of it,
Yeah.
then I would say something else.
But shouldn't that prevail though? Shouldn't that prevail above all else?
But then some people that are not Christians, they don't believe in Christianity.
Yeah.
So if you say that, then you are oppressing those who don't believe in that ideology.
Right.
I am a Christian and I believe and I will fight against homophobic, but I'm looking at it at the other side as well, about human rights, about quality of life, about oppression. So if I take social work cap from me, then I will say, it's against you. Yes.
So when we're looking like London here, we see homosexuality is legalized. You see men walking in the street like women, handbags,
But
men
this
with
is
men.
something
Is
that
that no? What I'm saying is that the vision you would like for Ghana? Because once that get legalized, that's what's going to happen.
That is why it has to go to Parliament to be debatable.
But if it's passed in Parliament, that's the vision you'll be creating in Ghana.
For me, I would say no, because if I'm looking, that's what I'm saying, it's a very big debate.
Okay.
We cannot just pass the law. We need to get people's views, people's concepts before this can be passed on.
Right.
That is what I'm saying.
Right.
So we have to look at it holistically. Before you can pass the law.
So you keep it's against our tradition.
Right,
And it's
right.
against the tradition of Africans. You know?
Yeah. So when you see it in the Western Hemisphere like this, like in UK, it's
I don't
law.
want to even sit close to someone who is gay, man.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
want to.
Uh-huh. Let me ask you another question. Going to Ghana, right? When you look in Ghana, such a black country predominantly, right? When you look in Ghana, why is it the church walls everywhere you go, there's the white images that damage Ghana? Where does that come from?
I think it started from the slave trade time.
From the slave trade.
Yeah.
Ah.
And then they try to implement that through education.
Right, right.
And so they spoiled the people's mind from
Well, from a youth up.
you see. So before you grow, you see a white god.
But is it? Do you have the understanding? And you can tell me, do you have the understanding that the image that they put up as Jesus
It's
is
not Jesus.
Wow.
It's not Jesus.
Wow. So you know that.
It's
So-
not Jesus. I don't worship that God, man. Yeah.
So when you see
I
that,
have my God here
ah,
in my heart.
right,
Yeah.
right,
So me doing good to you, you doing good to me,
Yeah.
talking to me nicely.
yeah,
We are praising God
together, yeah.
together now.
So what persuasion are you? Like Ghana is a Christian country. Are you
Yeah.
from a Christian
Yeah.
persuasion?
Yeah.
So that white image that they've put up, right? From you coming from a Christian persuasion, which obviously you're from the Bible.
Yeah.
Does the Bible show what the real Christ would have looked like?
No.
It doesn't show it.
No.
Mm.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Do you read the Bible?
Sometimes.
What if I like? Can I show you something?
Yeah, I don't.
Let me
mind.
show you something, right? I left my Let me show you this, right? I'll let you read it and you tell me if
Can
you
you read
agree.
it?
Yeah. I'm going to read it. All right. So this is Revelation 1, and I'm going to start from verse 12. Right, just so you see that I'm actually reading from the Bible, right? So he says, "And I turned to see the voice that spake to me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks." So John is seeing and hearing a voice, right? He says, "And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, which is Christ. And he says, he's clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle." So you have on a long garments, and you have a girdle around his waist. He said, he begin to describe his head and his ears were white like wool, right? And his eyes were as a flame of fire. Now, when we look at the image in Ghana that they put up, white Jesus, he don't have woolly hair. But when I look at somebody like yourself, you have woolly hair. So we see the Messiah, his hair is compared to that of wool. What do you think about that? Just that thought.
Yeah, that part is wrong
The wool?
because God, He created us in His image.
Right.
I'm a black man,
Yeah.
so I think my God should be black.
But that's the point. That's what you're
Yeah.
reading. Because if he has woolly hair,
Yeah,
you have woolly hair, then it means that what? Christ was a black man.
like me.
Right. So keep your hat off. Let me show you something. Look what it says. Look. "And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burnt in a furnace." So if you have brass and you burn it in a furnace, in a hot fire, it's gonna come out what color? Black, right?
Yeah.
So what is the Bible describing Christ as?
Means He's black.
He's black.
Yeah.
So there you go, my brother.
Yeah.
So it means that then we both agree that the image that they've put up in Ghana on the church walls and so forth is wrong, because Christ is actually a man of color in the Bible.
Yeah.
You would agree that assessment according to
I
John?
agree.
Exactly. So the color of Christ is in the Bible. It's just it hasn't been taught.
Yeah.
You understand me?
So now you taught me now. I've seen
Exactly.
it.
So,
I'll
so you
tell-
can pass it on
I'll
Revelation
pass it
1,
on.
12 on
Yeah,
down,
man.
right?
Yeah, man.
Exactly. So let me touch on something else, right? In other parts of the continent, like in Nigeria, how is Nigeria is considered to be a great country within the continent, isn't it? Should Nigeria be leading the effort as an example? Do you feel like they are leading that?
No.
Right.
I don't see no African country like leading to show that there is a black God somewhere. I don't see that.
Right,
Because
right.
I think we've been mental slaved.
Right.
You know, it would take another generation to realize that. That's what I think.
Right.
So with my case, now I'm telling them, in the olden days we don't have the letter J.
Say that again.
In the olden days we don't have letter J.
What did he have? I?
and those things, but there is no J. So how
Right.
come do we have Jesus?
Right.
We have Y. Yeshua.
Yeah, and in the proper Paleo Hebrew, it's Yahushai,
Yeah.
which is actually in the English translated
Yeah.
as Joshua, but it's the same,
Yeah.
right? So you're right, there was no letter J.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't think there is somebody called Jesus is
Right.
being created to have that.
Dominion, that
Yeah.
miseducation.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So let me ask you something then. When you look right now, coming up pretty soon, we're in what month now? November, right?
Yeah.
The October going into November soon. In December, they have their Christmas and so forth. Do you celebrate Christmas?
I don't really. I used to,
You used to.
but now
Why don't you do it now?
I think it's a normal day for me. I
Right.
see it as it's a normal day.
But let's say it wasn't a normal day, right? Do you believe that as a Christian, one should be celebrating Christmas?
I don't think it should be a Christmas, but we should be celebrating God.
So what is it that God gave us to celebrate? Do you know?
No.
So when you read the Bible in Leviticus 23, it tells you God's holy days. God's holy days, have you heard of Passover?
The Passover, I've heard of it.
Have you heard of Pentecost?
Yeah, the Pentecost Day. I
Feast
heard
of Tabernacles?
it. Yeah.
Those are the days we should be celebrating because that's what's written in Scripture. So you see, but the world gives us Christmas, Easter, the worship of Ishtar with the eggs, bunny eggs,
Yeah.
that's not in the Bible. You see? So our people throughout Ghana, throughout the continent, is dealing with all these things, but it's anti the Bible, it's not in the Scriptures. We should be coming back to what's written. You understand? Do you know, if you go back in your Ghanaian history, Ghana, predominantly, you have the Ashantis, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that Ashan is a Benjamite town in the Bible?
No.
Joshua 19. Right? So really, the Ghanaians descend from the Hebrews. Have you heard that before?
I've heard that story.
You've heard
A
the story?
A bit like that.
But it's in the Bible though.
Okay.
Right? Because remember the slave coast? Remember how people were taken from?
From
Exactly, slave
they
coast?
took them from all African countries, bring them to Ghana. Have you been to Ghana before?
Yes, I have, yes.
Have you been to the Cape Coast Castle?
I have, yes. In Elmina?
El Elmina?
The door of no return?
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
You were
yes.
the dungeon?
Where
How
the Portuguese church?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How did you feel?
Hey, it's hard. You understand me? To be there in that position and see, you can smell, you see the
You can still
scratches.
smell,
Exactly,
you know.
exactly.
And then when you get there, you can feel the energy in there.
Yes, yes. But why do you think we as a people fell to that? How come we got enslaved? What are your thoughts?
Actually, I can't give much about that. Yeah.
Have you ever thought for a people, you believe in God, you believe in the
Yeah.
Bible, how come God allowed this to happen to us? Where a whole nation got kept in chains. The white man came, the Portuguese, and then took us down. How is that possible?
I think there is a lot to that.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. I think there is a lot to that.
Do you think the Bible gives the answer?
No.
Do you believe that so-called black people are God's people?
Yeah.
You believe that? We're the children of God.
Yeah.
Right. So if we're the children of God, that means that there must be an answer to why we've got in that position from the Bible, isn't it? You understand?
Maybe. Yeah.
Let me show you something. And you know, all things is in the Bible, right? When you go to the record of Deuteronomy chapter 28, I don't know if you've ever read it.
No.
Moses, God was speaking to Moses, and he's telling Moses to tell the people, it shall come to pass, if thou hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command this day, that the Lord thy God should set thee above all nations of the earth. So that's the Lord speaking to the Israelites. You heard of the Israelites?
Yeah.
The people that descend from Jacob. I believe we are Jacob. We are the children of Israel, the true Jews, right? Now, in verse 15, it said to Moses, tell them, right? But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon you. I believe according to the prophecy, what happened to us, what happened to the Ghanaians, is that we've obtained a curse because we never listened. We're under a curse. Now, here's how we know definitely that we're the children of Jacob, that we are the Jews, and that we're under a curse, right? When you continue to read down, I'm just going to jump to verse 48, 46, right? Listen to this. Let's see if you can identify with this. It says, and there shall be upon thee, that's the curses, for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy children, thy seed forever. So the curses would tell in the last days who the children of Israel are, who the children of God are. Because it's going to be a sign upon us. Just like a shop has a sign, and you can look at the sign and know that's the place. You're going to know that who the God's people are based on our curses. So here is some of the curse. Verse 48. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies like the Portuguese and the French and the British, which the Lord himself shall send against thee. Why? Because we never kept the commandments. Watch this. In hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. So whatever we need, we're going to have to get it from our enemies. Look at this now. And he, the enemy, shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until you are destroyed. Did that happen to us as a people?
Yeah. It did.
Yoke of iron, right?
Yeah, it did.
Exactly. Then look at what God says pertaining to another curse. Right? I'm going to go to verse 64. Look at what it says. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. You see why the Portuguese came with the ships? Elmina Castle.
Yeah.
Took us all over to Brazil. You understand? America,
Brazil,
the Caribbean. Because
Jamaica.
I'm from Jamaica.
You're Jamaica.
And you know that many of the Jamaicans are Ashans.
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you know in Jamaica, in St. Elizabeth, in a compound they preserve the Coromantee language. We had people like Kojo, and Nani, and Taki, and all those people are Ghanaians.
Yeah.
Because why? We knew the custom that we are the Hebrews, we're the children of Israel. So all these things happen. Look at this last verse here. 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt. Egypt means bondage, slavery. Watch, how is he going to bring us? I want you to see it yourself. Look, he's going to bring you into Egypt again with ships. You remember the cargo slave ship came?
Yeah.
And then it says, by the way which I spake of before, thou shalt see your homeland no more again. And there, when you get to those lands, you shall be sold unto your enemy. So that's why they put us on auction block. Sold to Mr. Williams, change our names, change Taki's name, all of that.
I'm not cutting you off.
No, it's fine.
I have one Jamaican friend.
Go on.
It's called Percy.
Percy,
Yeah, he's a Jamaican.
Right.
So he's my colleague at work. I always tell him, Percy, you lost. You need to put down the slave name. And then use Ashanti name because you look like Ashanti.
Right.
And he always goes, don't say it. I don't want to hear that because you sold me out. And you come back to take me back home.
Right.
You know, that's what he says.
Yes.
So those slaves' name, I used to be called Michael.
Right.
I changed my name now.
Right.
I'm Nana.
Nana.
Nana Yao Brefo Ade.
So you take up back your roots.
Back to my roots. I don't want no slave name.
Right. But do you see how the Bible accurately shows the condition that we're in?
Yeah.
So I've showed you that the Christ color is in the Bible in Revelation 1:12. And I've showed you the history pertaining to slavery that's in the Bible. But are the pastors teaching that? No, they don't know. They're not teaching that.
No, so, not that they don't know.
They don't want to teach it.
They don't want to teach it.
Exactly, to wake up the people.
Yes.
Exactly. So the duty falls to you.
Because they know if they start teaching it now, the world is going to turn upside down.
Right.
So people will get into realization and then they're going to fight for their rights.
Right.
So they're afraid to teach that.
Yes.
So they always teach that. Things that you will like, you want to hear, or you're going to be rich.
Right.
You know?
Yes. A miracle. They want, you know, some money.
You get money, you travel here, you go to places. That's what they teach.
I love it,
but
yes.
They don't
teach the truth of the scriptures.
Truth. Because when you hear the truth, it will touch your soul. The truth always touches your soul. That's why they say the truth is painful.
Yes. Do you read in the Bible? Have you come across the Sabbath?
Yes. Even today I was talking to my friend and he was saying something. I said, hey bro, don't say that, today is Sabbath. You don't say bad things. You don't say ill words,
Right.
Keep it holy. And he said, oh yeah. I always try to remember my friends.
Because the Lord's Sabbath is Saturday.
It's
Seventh
Saturday.
day. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. But you see how the whole world worships on a Sunday?
On a Sunday.
You know where that is coming from? Ancient Rome. Because Rome worshipped the sun, the sun. You see what I mean? And so when you look in the Bible in Exodus 20 and 7 down, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. All the apostles were keeping Sabbath day. It was only at the different councils like Laodicea, Nicaea and all of that, they changed the Saturday to Sunday. So where people worship on a day the Lord don't say. You see? So for you, we have to come back to the Sabbath days, come back to the holy days. And you have to teach men so, teach your brothers.
That's right.
It's written in the Bible.
We have the Seventh-day Baptist Church.
Yeah, they have the Seventh-day Adventists. But you see, even when you look at the Seventh-day Adventist movement, right, it's still corruption.
It's still the same.
You understand? The only thing we have in common with them is that we keep the Sabbath. You understand? But really, we must come back to the laws of God, keeping the Sabbath, because we're the children of Israel. You understand? And the unclean food, the pork and all of that, You don't eat pork.
I don't eat pork.
Right.
I used to, but I stopped.
So why did you stop?
I got into realization. You know, when you start doing little bits of research,
I love that.
you get to realize
Yes.
things that are impure, things that are good, things that are bad, and then you need to
Right.
accept it.
Accept the truth.
The acceptance is what is killing us now. The acceptance is what is killing. It's hard because of the way they planted it.
Yes.
It has generated roots, so it's hard for the tree to bear good fruits.
No. All right.
You know,
Yes,
it's
man.
hard for it, but we need to.
100% Nana. And
We need to.
it's written in the Bible.
We need to replant it again,
Exactly.
like
exactly.
how you guys are doing now. You're trying to replant it on a good soil,
Yes, man.
not on the rocks. And I know how you are doing. The wise people will
Listen.
listen.
Christ said it that any man worship God must worship him in spirit and in truth.
Yes.
So if you hate the truth, that's not worshiping God.
No.
So the truth is remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. You understand?
That's why I told you I have God in here.
Yes.
I don't go to the church,
Yeah.
but I do good to people.
Right. But one of the law that I want you to consider is that when it comes to the Sabbath, you're meant to congregate, you're meant to fellowship. So when you have brothers like us, you know, link in, come fellowship. Because we must congregate. That's a law in Leviticus 23.
Yeah, to remember ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Remember to come worship the Father on the Sabbath. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's good that you're not in the Sunday churches. That's a blessing. But in order to function properly under the law, you need to also fellowship with your brothers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Nana, it's a great conversation.
Yeah.
All right?
Great
And
conversation.
keep
No,
the
it's a
knowledge.
blessing for me
Yeah,
as
man,
well.
I'm pass on the knowledge, all right?
Devil thought he had me, then I skirt. Devil thought he had me, then I skirt. Yeah. Hey. Ain't no weapons formed against me gonna prosper. Plenty angels round me backing like some mobsters.